Okay, thank you for joining. This is Danny Legend, and you're welcome to this live workshop, which is also free. I always want to term it free so that we get to know that, yeah, you don't have to pay to get this knowledge. You can apply yourself for free. So, um, let's talk about the process. How do we go about it? How do we do our study abroad stuff? I see Cheddar. He says, I'm happy to be here. Yes. In fact, share this live with your friends, bring them on board. They're going to be enlightened on this session. And whilst I'm talking about the process, you can also feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. And then I'm going to attend to your questions in the course of time, whatever, whenever I get to a break or a pause in the stream, I'm going to take your questions. So leave them there if you're confused about anything. At any point I said something you didn't hear, always you can ask me to repeat, or you can just comment. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm very, very happy that you also joined, and it makes me know how serious you are with your study abroad endeavors, because most people are going to say, hey, I have to study abroad. I have to apply and go and study abroad. But you cannot see the seriousness. But the fact that you took time out to join, or perhaps you are watching this later, right, with keen attention, shows me that you are very serious about your study abroad journey. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Okay. First of all, we are going to pick out some of the scholarships that I've already shared on my website, and I've shared them in two forms. Number one is the one where the position is open. You have to go to the school's website and then go and apply. And then we also look at the format where I have given raw details like this on my Telegram page. And for those of you who don't know, I have a Telegram page. I have a study abroad Telegram page. The first one is a group chat that has a lot of people there. So they're helping each other. Okay, if you have any concerns, just put it there. Somebody's going to respond. Or if I can respond, I'll respond. And then the second one is the channel. The channel only has scholarship links. So anytime I see a scholarship, sometimes I don't even have time to record a video on it. I'll just post it on the channel. I don't post on the chat page because the link is going to get missing whilst a lot of people are talking. So I separate that and I put it on the channel. So when you go there, nobody's talking on the channel, only links to scholarships. Okay, so let's go back to the website. This is what I do. I talk about study abroad stuff. If you want to study abroad, I'm more like an online mentor. I'm more like an online mentor. So this is what I do. I'm here to guide and assist prospective students in their journey towards studying in the United States, and also with life in and after school. With a wealth of experience and currently pursuing my own master's degree in the US. This was at the time I was pursuing my degree. I understand the challenges and intricacies of the educational route for international students, and I'm here to help. So for me currently, I am done with my master's degree program. I used about 1.5 years to finish. The program was 2 years, depending on how fast it can go. And the good thing for me was that there wasn't funding available when I completed. Means that if I did not finish my program early and I was saying that, oh, let me just slow down, let me just like take my sweet time, to do a whole 2 years, I wouldn't have gotten funding for my last semester. So it was divine that timing was very, very good for me. Okay, so just an intro. This first section of the video is just an introduction to my website. So part one, this is my website, this is what I do. And in 2023, before I started to go hard on study abroad content in 2024, in 2023, I was doing some study abroad podcast, but this one was only on X, which is former Twitter. So I was doing live sessions, but it was just in the form of an audio podcast because I wanted to also explore the Twitter space at the time. I think it wasn't yet X then, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so I spoke with African students who had just come, 5 of them. I also have this on my podcast on Spotify, but I shared, the 5 students shared experience where, they came to US fresh, and that audio is here. And then I spoke with Choco Millionaire. Some of you know him. He gave us tips on how to move to Canada. And this is not even just for the school route, any route, express entry whatsoever. Okay. And then I spoke with Francis about career and scholarship. And then I spoke with Fred Effect about finding full scholarships. And then I spoke with three people, one in UK, one in Germany, one in Czech, how school and work is. Is it easy to come there? What are the things they need? I also recorded that in the audio session. And then I also spoke with Dave, who had secured 100,000 US dollars in scholarships. He was getting about $42,000 in stipend in a year. So you can imagine how much he was earning in a year just as a student, because he did very well. He went to Northeastern University. I think he's still there doing his PhD. So he got like 100K in funding. So I have that conversation too here. I also have it on my Spotify that you can attend to. So first things first, I've just done a brief introduction of my website, what I do, and all that good stuff. Now let's look at some of the scholarships that come away. Now remember, in the course of this workshop, put down your questions. Maybe you are watching this later, so you couldn't ask any question, but maybe uh, you come across it, you still have a question, put it in the group chat. You can tag me and then just tell me that you are watching the video, but you couldn't have the chance to ask this question and you won't ask it now. So you get a quicker response that way. Right. So let's go to, I also want to try and have access here so that I see some of the comments that are coming through. So give me just a minute to access my second screen here and then see some of the questions that are coming through, because once I'm sharing my screen like this, I cannot see the questions that are coming. Okay. So do permit me. Okay. All right. So now I can see some of the questions here. Yeah. Hope says thank you for the opportunity to learn from you. Hope, I used to attend the same school back in Ghana with Hope. So thanks for joining. All right. So what are the things that you need? Let's first look at the raw details of this scholarship. The raw details here. So this is something that I posted on my Telegram. Okay. And then they said that they were looking for an MS or PhD student who is well versed in data analytics and environmental science to analyze long-term data concerning the bison herd at Konza Prairie. And this is Kansas State University. I just want to make sure I'm still streaming here. Okay, good. And then it says, we recommend you send a soft inquiry ahead of time to zarata@ksu.edu and amluthan@ksu.edu. And the names are there. Please include 2 to 3 paragraphs expressing your interest and a standard CV or resume. We are excited to hear from you and work with you. So now, when you see something like this, you now have to say, okay, what are the documents that this, why do I, okay, good. I think I screwed too much. What are the documents that these professors need? And what is the subject area? The subject area, they are looking at someone well-versed in what? In data analysis and environmental science. So you need to ask yourself, do I qualify? Am I an environmental science student? Yes. So first thing, you must qualify. Your minimum requirement for that thing must be well met. Okay. Then, number 2, what are the things they need? What are the things they need? So from here, you can see that they need what? They need a statement, 2 to 3 paragraph, expressing my interest, a statement of interest or a motivation letter. So I'm going to show you a motivation letter sample that you can use. And then they need a standard CV or resume. So standard CV is like, you need to be covering your experiences in that particular field, no matter how small it is. Sometimes, people are like, oh, I don't really have that experience. I've not really worked in a corporate setting. I need to have, no, anything you have done, even if it's a personal project, that you did on data analysis, something with environmental science, or your undergrad program, okay, it still counts as experience enough to be placed on your CV. So don't belittle yourself. Sometimes we don't write any things on our CVs because we belittle ourselves and be like, oh, this thing is too small. Why should I put it on a CV? No, you still have to go for it. So they just need two things. Okay. They are excited to hear from you and to work with you. Now, what should this statement of interest letter entail? What should this motivation letter entail? What should it entail? We are coming there. Okay. So let's look at this. Let's look at this right here. What does it say? Now we are writing to, for this letter, we are writing to we are not writing to data analysis. We are writing to Department of Psychology at Temple University. Okay, the admissions committee, because for this scenario, what I pictured here was that we are writing a motivation letter to the department. Now, this one is to particular professors, two professors. Okay. So we are still going to use that same like inspiration, but I'm just trying to show you that they are different contexts. So this one we are writing to personal professors, like personally to professors, and this one you're writing to admissions committee. So let's use the one we are writing to admissions committee, because most of the scholarships that I share and the ones you come across, you have to write directly to the admissions committee. So this is what I'm going to say. This is a context where the student is going to study clinical psychology on the master's level, and then they are attempting to apply to Temple University. Okay. So this is what it said. Dear members of admission committee, or dear admissions committee coordinator, I'm writing to express my keen interest in pursuing a master's degree in clinical psychology at Temple University. As a graduate of clinical psychology from, then you put your university here, where you are from. So this context is from Ghana. My academic journey and practical experiences have fueled my passion. So the thing is, we need to see you are passionate. Are you passionate about this program? Are you passionate about the course? Don't just write and say, oh, I heard that there's a scholarship opportunity. I'm applying to see that I can do this course because I studied it in school. You studied the course in school does not mean you are passionate. Let us see passion. They are very concerned about passion. Okay, so your experiences have fueled your passion. Now, somebody who is passionate should have had other things he's doing in the field, even if he's not in school. He should be doing, even if he's not in class, sitting down and saying that, hey, the lecturer is teaching me, I have to pay attention. Even if he's out of that environment, his passion alone should still lead him to be doing his personal online courses, his personal projects, things that he like, partnerships he has had with people who are engaged in the field. Your passion should show. That is the essence. And the passion that should show should stem or should be seen in the first paragraph. This is a motivation letter you're writing to admissions committee. So if you don't see any passion at the beginning of your letter, it doesn't sell well. Good. Fueled my passion for understanding mental health and improving the well-being of individuals and communities. This program aligns perfectly with my career goals to become a highly skilled. So in other words, your motivation letter is already summarizing everything within the first paragraph. You're already summarizing in the first paragraph before you start to break down your experiences and all that good stuff. So it aligns perfectly with your career goals. Good. Now, let's start the story. During my undergrad study, I cultivated a strong foundation in psychological theories, research methodologies, and clinical practices. Actively participated in laboratory sessions. So now they already know that you have some lab experience. This is clinical psychology. They already know you have lab experience. So now someone will say, "Oh, um, I'm in finance. I don't go to the lab. So how can it still apply to me?" Okay, how can it still apply to me? So maybe you don't go to the lab, you're in finance or you're in business admin. What around business are you doing now? Or did you used to do in your undergrad? Or what kind of projects did you partake in that we could link it to business admin or finance or economics or political science or public health that we can say that, oh, the person still did something in their undergrad studies that well aligns with what they want to do today. Are you following? So I'm going to share this on my, I think I'll put this on the website so that I can easily access it. But first things first, get your motivation letter ready, even if the school has asked or has not asked yet. In preparing, get your standard CV ready, get your letter of motivation ready, and get your statement of purpose ready. So, letter of motivation is what is motivating you to pursue the scholarship or the program. But then the statement of purpose is like a summary of your life. What is your purpose? Where do you see yourself going? Okay. So, motivation letter, whilst is just like a subset of the entire purpose statement, it can also be requested separately. Okay. So now, uh, let's go to the statement of purpose. So, statement of purpose, when you come to my website, danielampa.com, and you go to files, I've put the profile build. Now, profile build is how you initially build your profile. I'm going to open that. And then we have the SOP question guide, which is the questions to ask you for you to be able to answer or come up with your story. I want us to briefly look at the profile build, and then we'll look at the statement of purpose sample as well. Okay, so just a quick look at it, and then we'll move to the next thing. So building your profile, you need to draft a rough sketch. Where is the legend from and what experiences have shaped his interests? These are the questions you have to answer to in your profile build. We can find on my website. Okay, now here, what are Danny's personal initiatives, like I was saying? So this is just to have a rough idea of what you stand for, what you represent. So beyond academics, Danny runs a blog, BioBuzz Africa. This is just, I just created it. It doesn't really exist. Okay, I just created the BioBuzz thing where he discusses African science and mentors high school students, aspiring the next generation of scientists, blah, 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 blah. So this is what I used to build your profile. Now let me close this and then go to the statement of purpose. Okay, so statement of purpose, you can start with your childhood stories. Do you see the difference between a motivation letter and then the statement of purpose and how I began it? A motivation letter, I was talking about, I was talking about my entire summary, what I want to do. And then I went to break down what I did in my undergrad. But my statement of purpose, I just go back into time. As a young student growing up, blah, 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 I found inspirations in the wonders of natural world, blah, blah, blah. And then I build my story from there. Now, this is free. You can take it and look at it on my website. It is free. Now, let us look at the kind of scholarships that I've been sharing on my page. This is where we now want to get into the nitty-gritty, because initially I'm just showing you the rough face. Okay, what do we have to get ready, what do we have to prepare and all that. One of the strongest things or the most important things you want to prepare when you're applying for school is your statement of purpose. And that is why it was very necessary that I first touch on it before I talk about any other thing. I know some of us opened the video and we're expecting to see that, oh, there's a scholarship, hey, jump, apply. Yeah, yes, we are going to do that. But let me now tell you what is really necessary for building this thing. Okay, what is really necessary? What are the things we are looking out for? Okay, that's very, very important for us to talk about. Okay, so I've shared a couple of scholarships here, Canadian scholarships, 5 US University apply and all that. Now I want to pick one randomly and let's see how we can approach the application. What can we do here? Let me see this one. So there's graduate assistantships, okay? And this is open in Pittsburgh State University. Okay, admission. Now, these are the requirements they need. Let me see if I have any questions here before I start. Let me see if I have any questions so far. Okay, so Ayekunle says, Please, when I get to a school website, how do I find a professor or how do I find a graduate assistant advertised? Okay, so we are going to do it now. Ayekole, thanks for your question. I answer, thank you. He says, good job. So Pittsburgh, let's say Pittsburgh State University, what are they require? Admission to a grad program, compliance with the requirements, 6 credit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, how to apply. Now, this is where I'm going to apply. So I'm going to go to Pittsburgh. Okay, let me also open that for Wisconsin. So I'm in Pittsburgh State University. They are looking for students for this program. Okay, so now graduate assistantships, scholarships come in the form of graduate assistantships. So whenever you hear me say scholarships or you hear me say assistantships, I'm simply talking about the same thing. Okay, they are going to give you 20 hours teaching and research and administrative. But what I preach on my channel is that we are always going for a full scholarship. We don't want partial scholarships. The least we are going to take is, a package that is giving us everything with the exception of health insurance. They say, oh, health insurance, they're going to pay $2,000 a year. We can manage because if they pay us $1,800 a month, $1,800 a month as stipend, we can manage and pay $2,000 in a year, right? So that is okay. Besides that, I don't advocate for students applying for scholarships where you're going to pay half of the fees, or they are going to waive off your tuition, but your living expenses is up to you. That's also tough for you. Okay, because even though you have tuition waiver, there are some mandatory fees the tuition waiver will not cover. And that's one thing that we also have to spend time to talk about. You pay mandatory student fees. Sometimes maybe $500 in a semester, sometimes $300, sometimes $700. In some schools, you might pay even like $1,000 as mandatory. So even though they've waived off tuition for you, you are still paying mandatory fees. Okay, and everybody will pay. All right. So we've seen something like this. Okay. All full-time graduate assistants have the opportunity to purchase student insurance, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what we're looking at. Now, for more information regarding student insurance, okay, this is student insurance. So let's skip that. It's not of concern to us yet. Okay. International graduate students must have approval to work in the US. Teaching assistantship, blah, blah, blah. Okay. IELTS, okay. That's okay. Now, I have seen this. Now, first thing is that I know this school has assistantship. Why? Because they've stated something here, and they've also stated here they have research full-time, where they're going to pay you 20 hours a week to cover the waive your tuition and fees as grants allows. And then they will pay you at $16 an hour as the grant allows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and go to academics. So first thing, I know this school has assistantship, or you have heard an legend say that there is assistantship position in this school. First thing, I'm going to go to academics, go to the academic programs. Then I'm going to check what programs do they have in this school. Then I'll come here. Okay, they have accounting. It's online. So first thing, now they also have online. They have one that is not online. So the one without the online word is in person. Okay. Now, for accounting programs, which is under the MBA department here, or the MBA school, right? This program, if it's online, you not get funding. If it's in person, you might get funding, but maybe not 100%. Because like I always say, MBA programs is very difficult to get 100%. Yeah, James, thank you. It says great. Yeah, Ethan, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I'm going to focus on programs. So I'm just speaking for the accounting guys and the MBA people. You're probably not going to have full scholarship because the program is not research. So for you, I recommend that you go for the MasterCard Foundation Scholar Program. They will fully fund you for MBA if you have very good results. So let me scroll down. Someone recommend a subject for me in the comment section. Just recommend a subject. Let's look at your program. Type something in the comment section. Okay, let's do clinical psychology. Okay, clinical, good. Master's degree in psychology with an emphasis in clinical psychology. So this is the program name. Psychology, okay. Oh, business admin. No, our business admin do not give us funding. So Yeah. So master's degree in psychology with emphasis in clinical psychology. Okay, so I'm going to go for that. Now, what am I going to do? Conduct psychological assessments, offering intervention strategies, blah, 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 blah. Let's skip that. Okay, but if you are applying, please take your time and read. Otherwise, you're going to be emailing the professors about a question that has an answer on the website. They will ignore you. Okay, so please be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Um, sorry, I'm just trying to turn off my notifications. Okay, so let me just quit this. All right. All right. So we need to find out, okay, what are the admission requirements? So we need to see the catalog for the department. I'm going to open this in a new tab and then take a look at it. So this Master of Science degree in major with a major in psychology. Okay. Now I click that, it leads me to a different page. So you see that this already is giving me an overview of what I'm going to do. There's a tailored curriculum, there's a 750-hour practicum, there are research projects. Okay. This is giving me a general overview. What is clinical psychology? It just wants me to understand the careers for graduate people who graduate. What do they become? The job prospects. Are you going to get a job? What would you become? That is all here. Yeah, I also said business courses lack funding. Always. Please, why? Is there any other ways? Why? Because it's not a research program. So they can't pay you to do research. That's why they don't have funding. So now I followed the link. Okay. I followed the link that was, where was the link? Somewhere down here. And I clicked it. Yeah, this one, catalog. So it brought me here, masters. Okay. And then emphasis is in general, clinical, and behavior. So I come here, I can download this and read more, or I can just scroll down, check the course requirements. Okay, these are core courses I'll be doing. And these are the various credit hours that have been attached to it. Now I scroll down, I see more core courses, electives, and all that. Scroll down, down, down. So I come here. I'm trying to look for, okay, we work around this thing. So because I don't have a direct apply button here, I'm going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to look for any professor in that department. And then number two, I'm going to look for an apply button. So our challenge here is, how do we find a professor in that department? So I'm going to say psychology department. Okay, I'm going to copy this. And then I come here. Let me open a new tab for this. This is Pittsburgh State University Psychology Department faculty. Then it's going to lead me to where? The faculty and the staff. This is a simple Google prompt. So now it opens me up. You see, because I couldn't find a direct link here, what did I do? I Googled, because sometimes navigation on website become a little bit challenging. Okay. So I'm going to come here, psychology and counseling faculty and staff. Then I see, okay, this person is the university professor. She's not the chair. Don't email the chair. The chair will, some of them are, they have free time to respond, but the chair usually is too busy. I'm telling you from experience, too busy to respond to your email. Some of you have emailed department chairs. You barely have a response. See, it's like maybe if you email maybe 20, you might get one to respond. They are too busy. They are dealing with all professors under them. They are working on research projects. They are attending meetings every day. And an email from an international prospective student is hardly likely to be noticed. So let the chair rest. Look for an assistant professor or university professor. Now I scroll down. These guys don't have their pictures. That's why it's shaped that way. So you can also look for who has a friendly face. Okay. And then you can see, okay. Now, another thing you also want to do, let's say, yes, you want to do clinical psychology, but what research aspects of clinical psychology interests you the most? So you're going to go here. You see, visit my page. Every professor has his page. Every professor has their area of interest, because not everybody does everything. So you're going to come here and then check the courses that he's teaching and his research interests. His interest is in addictions and relationships. So you want to do clinical psychology, um, addictions. You want to understand addictions. Okay, maybe addiction to some drugs or something, or maybe relationships, father child relationship or parent child relationship. You want to understand something. That's your interest. Who do you message amongst the list of the faculty? Would you message? Let me visit Miss Sandra Kobos. Okay. What is a research interest? Early intervention, identification and assessment, bilingualism, special education. So now you are interested in addictions and relationship, and you have gone to message Sandra Cobbs. There are two things. Either she'll tell you she cannot work with you, or she'll ignore your message because it's not her interest, or she's going to say, "Oh, thank you for sending me a message, but you would want to message." What's the other guy's name? Is it Chris? You would want to message Chris. Okay. So you are not just sending an email to anybody. That's why some of you, your emails have not been replied. You are not sending just anybody. Look for the person who has that research area as their focus. So this person is doing this. Now, if you send an email and then you say you want to catch his attention, okay, so instead of writing maybe future student or student inquiry, you would rather say research on addiction and relationships. Guess what? When he sees that subject, right, in his email, is he going to click it? Yes. He's going to click it because my screen is small. Can you see? Is it better now? He said I should zoom in. Now, because this guy is invested in this area, I think I've over zoomed. Okay. Because he's invested in this area, when he sees your email as addictions and relationship, was it research interest, okay, or something of that, so prospective student interested in addiction and relationship research. Hey, I've killed him. He's going to open it and he's going to read it and he's going to be like, wow, okay, let's see what he has to say. Let's see his experience. And then guess what? In your email, this is the courses he's teaching. So, for example, you want to pursue clinical psychology, but you don't even know any of these courses, right? Or you've heard of them, but you've not even done any of them. What are you going to do? You're going to go to Coursera.org. Coursera.org. Okay. Let me log in. I think I have an account. Okay, so I'm going to log in. Now, Coursera.org. Okay, it's refreshing. Now, when I come here, this is it. I want to engage in a master's program, but I don't have experience in research. Listen to this carefully. You don't have experience in research. You don't have any experience to show that what you're applying for, you can do it. So we come here and then we type psychology. Now, what was the area? Let me close Sandra's page. Counseling addictions. Okay. So I'm going to come here and then type in addictions or something of that sort. What am I going to do? I'm going to come here and do this course. Yes, the male subject was very insightful. Oh, yeah, exactly. I'm going to come here. This course is what, 1 to 3 months. Coursera, if I come from a developing country, Coursera will give me a scholarship, the waive of application fee. If I write to them that I'm from a developing country and I have financial need, but I want to pursue my dreams in clinical psychology, especially with addictions. And so I'll kindly need funding to study the program. And then you put the program link there in your message. I'm going to come here. Now, addicted brain. Do you see how I'm approaching my scholarship application? This is what makes you stand out. But if you send it just because you have a degree in it, you might not get it. So I come here. The course starts November 29, which is today. Because that's how they do it. They just put like today's date there. So I can enroll for free. Do you see? Enroll. And the thing with Coursera is that you can enroll in the course for free, But then if you bypass maybe a week, that means that if you have 1 week of free certification, if you quickly learn and get it in a week, you don't have to pay. You don't even have to write any letter for financial aid. But if you are going to learn the course over a week or more than a week, what's going to happen is that you will pay, right? That's why I'm saying that you should request for the waiver. Otherwise, if you go beyond the free week, you have to pay. So I'm going to come here. Let me see. They have 8 modules. Remember, this is self-paced and this is 1 to 3 months. So you want to apply, let's say 2025. Okay, 2025, 4 semester, August. And then you are in maybe September, October. You can finish this course in 1 month. And then include it in your purpose statement, include it in your motivation letter, include it when you email the professor. So you come here, 8 modules. What do they have? Drugs and how the brain works, classes of drugs. So when you're writing your letter to the professor, what would you talk about? You talk about the different modules. I have studied neurotransmission and brain imaging. I've studied vulnerability, drug use, abuse and prevention. All these are topics here. I've studied treatment, policy, and decriminalization. And this is just 2 hours to complete. Look at this, 3 hours to complete, 3 hours to complete. Let me zoom in for those who can't see. 2 hours to complete, two. So you've come here to do a free course to give you experience in the field that you are about to venture into. Wisdom. Now, we come back here. Email him. So I'm going to click this. You can write, you see, some of them would give you a form you can fill, put in your details, and then email the professor. Some of them you'd have to take their email and then email them. So for this one, they don't give out the specific email, but then they give you a form to fill. So I'm going to come here and put in my name, Danny Legend, and then I put in my email address, maybe this one, and then I'll now type in my message. Hi, Professor. You need to check his title as well. Yes, I know they are not so concerned about titles, but we can still write it in there if you are contacting them. So maybe hi, doctor, okay, or hi, professor. So you come in, hi, doctor this, or hi, professor this and this and that. Okay, so you could talk about, I was, researching on, or I am desiring to pursue a master's in clinical psychology. So this is where you come back to your motivation letter, and then you pick a small portion of it. Okay, don't write too much. You're just saying something small. Okay, so maybe you could talk about, dear professor, I have been studying, or I have bachelor's, or have experience at the undergrad level in clinical psychology, but I want to pursue a master's in clinical psychology by August 2025 in the US. And I'm very interested in learning about how the addicted brain works. Then you now come and say, now since his research interest, I want to visit his page again. Now, since his research interest or the courses he has taught is in this area, addiction services coordination, all that, he's going to have publications in these areas. Now, I'm teaching you how to stand out. Oh, I'm not teaching you how to just apply for a scholarship. I'm teaching you how to stand out when you are applying for scholarships. So you come here and say that you see his courses. Okay, what's his name? Dr. Chris Spera. And he's doing addiction. So I'm going to come here and type Google Scholar. And I'm going to go to Google Scholar, articles, and I paste in his name. And then I type addiction because that's his specialty. Okay. Now, what am I going to see? This is him, Chris Spera. He has done using alcohol expectations to examine the theory of planned behavior. So alcohol addiction. Now, he has another paper. Let me zoom again. Examining the influence of the enforcing underage drinking laws. Okay, he has another one, reducing drinking among, so his addiction and his brain, he likes to talk about alcohol a lot. Then another one, relationships, spouses' ability to cope with deployment and adjust to Air Force family demands. Then reducing drinking among underage Air Force members, hazardous alcohol use. Okay, so you're going to come here, wherever you see his name, Chris Spera. This, he published it in 2012. And examining the influence of this. Okay, so it's going to come here. You're going to click this. And then just check the abstract of his paper. And this is what he highlighted. Now, when you send him a message after doing the Coursera course, having exposure a bit in the field, now when you are messaging him, his abstract, you're going to talk about, oh, I have come across your paper examining the influence of the Enforcing Underage Drinking Laws program on alcohol-related outcomes in 5 communities surrounding the Air Force bases. Okay. Now, yeah. So I'll Arab money. I'll attend to your question. So I'm going to use this one. You have to read his paper, or at least read the abstract, get to know what he was doing. And then if it strikes your interest related to what you have done on Coursera, guess what? When you send him a message and include all those things in the details, you type all those things in the details, and then you send yourself a copy, check that you are not a robot, send him a message. He's going to reply to you. It's going to catch his interest. Now, another thing is if you can find his email. So the way we can also find his email is to, I think we might get his email here. Yes. So this is another email of his. You see, the university didn't put it there, but Google Scholar, we can get it. Because Google Scholar, they allow you to share your email so that other people can reach out to you if they want to work with you or they are interested in your work. So this is one of his emails, okay, which is with the ICF International. Is high priority. He's going to check it. So you copy this email and go and type what I showed you early on, and then he's going to respond. Put that subject line in there. It's going to catch his attention. He's going to respond to you. He likes what you are doing. Oh, he has seen that you're a serious student. You've already taken courses. It means you are preparing to work with him. Guess what? Oh, I have funding for you. You can join me next 2025. I will fully fund you. I have a grant from this company. We want to work on this at the next project. You can put it there. Also, you can also say that you want to engage in some personal research work even after school in this field. He's going to work with you long term. Now, let me go back to my comment section. Let me see what we have here. Kofiado says, I would like to know if there are enough funding for information system or management information, MIS master's program. Is it a research program? If it is not, you might have maybe teaching assistantship available. If I hope it doesn't come under business admin, because if it does, then funding I can't promise you. Arab Money says, please do for undergrad application. Undergrad. Okay, we will see what we can do for undergrad. But undergrad, you're not doing research, but we see what we can do. Cheddar says, being able to pick a thing or two on what I've been doing wrong. Exactly. You see, guess what? You see, people feel as if they're the only ones that have sent an email to the professor. Even me, that I'm not even a professor, I do my 2x4 scholarship sharing and all that. The number of messages I'm getting, imagine the number of millions of students wanting to come to a certain school in a certain department and writing, and you don't want to stand out. You are kidding me. You don't want to stand out. Some schools will tell you we receive 200,000 applications a year. How do you stand out? Your subject line is wrong. The introduction of yourself is wrong. You have not shown any passion. You have not shown anything you're doing. All people just want to travel abroad for travel abroad sake. There's nothing that's showing that they are engaging themselves actively in anything. There are free online courses on Coursera. Do it. 1 month. Some of them 2 weeks you can finish. There are courses I've done on Coursera. I finish in 3 days. Some you can finish in 1 week. That free gap, you can finish it. Okay. So now this is what you do to apply for scholarships. It is not a mystery. It is very simple things. Okay, now so aside that, I showed you the raw one. So for those who didn't join early in this live stream, I showed you the raw one where you put in your title. Now, this is what they said. We recommend you send a soft inquiry ahead of time. So now, if you are going to email these professors, you are going to write soft inquiry and then hyphen. So something like this. Soft inquiry, capitalize your first letters. You want to be professional. Don't go and use small letters. Just because you saw small letters, you also be using small letters. No, soft inquiry hyphen. Now, what is what they are looking at? Someone well versed in what? Data analysis, so, and environmental science. So let's say your specialty is environmental science. If your specialty is data analysis or analytics, take only this one, because you don't want your subject line to be too long also. Then you're going to put it here. Remember, capitalize your first letters. Okay, data analysis. Then you say prospective research assistant. Okay, it's black. Okay, this is your subject line for this scholarship. There are very simple things that can put people off and they will not read your email. Some of you, the titles, if I read the titles in your email, I'll collapse. And if you send it to me, I will not read it because the title alone will put me off. But if the title is something like this, soft inquiry, why? Because it's coming from you took it from the ad. Okay. Soft inquiry. And then you added your specialty. I don't know why my mouse gets missing. I don't know. It's like I can't see the cursor. That's why I'm clicking anyhow. So this is your specialty. This is what they said you should write. And this is what you want to become. All in one title. All in one title. Now, in another video, I'm going to do how to write your CV to apply today. I did a GPA, what was it? How to convert your GPA. I showed you how to do it to a US standard before, unofficially, right? Before you go and pay for it. So you can unofficially know how your GPA looks like according to a US scale. But this one is also going to look at how to write or format your CV to apply for these positions. Okay, they're very, very salient things you have to do. Okay, now someone said do for undergrad. So I'm going to go back to my website and then check for any undergrad scholarships. So this is master's, PhD. This first demonstration is master's and PhD. So, okay, before I touch on undergrad, let's say the professor has no business administration. They don't have research. I've already answered that. Undergrad application for secondary school graduate, they have full funded. Undergrad barely has full funding. You have to write SAT to boost your chances. Okay. So, guys, now I've emailed Dr. Chris Spera, okay, as our example in this test. What am I going to do next? Now I'm going to wait for Dr. Spera. While I'm waiting for him, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket at Pittsburgh State University and say that, oh, if it's not this school, I'm not attending school again. Or if it's not this school, I'm not going to travel abroad. No, that's not what you're going to do. You're going to now look for other schools in clinical psychology area, which you can either find through my recommendations or through your own personal research to find schools that do that, and then send similar emails to the professors in that same specialty that you want. Now, if I hear from Dr. Chris Spera, just like I showed you on my TikTok video, how the professor emailed me back and said, oh, we accept scholarship for students and all that. What am I going to do next? I'm going to go back to the website, the Pittsburgh State University website. What am I going to do? I'm going to click apply. So you see, I'm not applying straight away. I'm going to throw away money if I go and apply straight away. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to apply and then now go to, we have scholarship, financial assistance and all that. Now, in my inquiry to Dr. Chris, I could ask him, do I have to separately apply for scholarship? Or it comes with the admission process. Another way I can go about it is that I can also start my applying for my admissions, okay? And then if I don't see any place that they say that, okay, you know what, scholarship comes with the initial application, then I can now go and ask, okay? So that's also another way, because I'm trying to avoid having to ask the professors questions that might have answers on the website. Okay, so I'm going to come here. I clicked on what? Apply. You don't just open a website. Hey, they have this thing, so I'm going to apply straight. No. Make your inquiries first with the professors. Tell them you're interested in their field of study. You have seen their works, you've read their works and all that, and you have personally partaken in courses. Now come here. If you get a good response, you're going to click graduate admissions, grad school, Pittsburgh. They have online degrees. Now, remember, if you want to stay home and learn online, fine, go ahead. You might get some funding for that. But if you want to be here in person, the human being here in the environment, you are not going for online courses. There are two things you are not eligible for as an international student. Number one, online programs. Number two, certificate programs. You are not eligible. So I'm going to go to graduate programs. Now, what does it say here? They offer, okay, excellence, award winning, 19:1 student faculty ratio. Let me zoom in for the other guy. And then graduate programs apply. I'm going to click apply. What am I going to see? Apply for admission. Apply now. So this is what I'm going to click. Then I take my time, my sweet time, to read everything here. As you begin your application for admission, note the following features, okay? Online is designed to allow you process blah, blah, blah. Okay, payment is required before application be processed. Now, I can also ask the department that, do you have online webinar sessions? Where I can also ask Dr. Chris in my email. So you see the things that I can include in my email. It shouldn't be too long, but it should contain very, very vital details. And I'll ask him, do you waive of application fees for students? Now, because you have already expressed your interest and all that stuff, he might take so much interest in your work that he would like to even personally go to the extent of personally waiving off for you. Oklahoma State University, there was a professor I emailed. Guess what? He paid my application fee for me. Why? Because of how I applied and how I approached. That is why these things are very essential for you. Now, if you're a new applicant, click here. Maybe you don't get a waiver, but Dr. Chris has promised you that he wants to work with you and he'll fully fund you. Guess what? Sacrifice and pay. Sacrifice and pay the application fee because you know that you have one foot in the door. Don't pay if you know you're not. Now, preliminary questions. I'll be applying as what? An international student. Then it's going to open up. I want a master's degree. Then I click continue. I'm going to put my first name, my middle name, my last name. Now, we might not be able to fill everything here, but let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. Let's say the name is Danny. Let's say it's Legend. Birthday. Let me put in some dates. It can be born in 2024. So minus. Let's say I'm 96. Okay. Sex assigned at birth, male. Okay, now this is not required. There's no star by it, so I can choose not to answer. Save and continue. Invalid birthday, date has been chosen. That says they are younger than 10 years old. Oh, so it changed. Okay. Okay. I don't know why it's okay. Good. Save and continue. Then I put in my country. So I'm from Ghana. My streets, just put in some details, city, cell phone. Okay. Or something, email. I can put in this. Okay. Save and continue, something of that sort. Enter the name and location of a college, beginning and most. So this is okay. This is your undergrad, okay, undergrad studies. So I can put in here Kwame Nkrumah University. Okay, country, it was in Ghana. The city was Accra. Okay, we don't have provinces in Ghana, so I go. Now, search is going to search. It didn't find it. Okay, so it says choose if not listed. Choose not listed if all search attempts fail. So because I didn't find, I'm going to choose what? Not listed. And then I'll manually put in all my details. This is, now, if you've not completed school, you could say that your attempted final bachelor's, your attempted or your final degree end is bachelor's. Okay, yeah, something like that. So anticipated final date degree end. So maybe you are going to end or earn your degree in June next year, 2025. Okay, and you are applying for August 2025. So you can just put that in there, okay, and then continue. Then the university you last attended is what I put in there. Save and continue. Then I come in bed city, bed country, and all that. So my bed country is different from my country of citizenship. So I put it in there. My bed city, I can put it in there. Milan. I heard about Pittsburgh State from a friend or from a council advisor from the internet. Maybe you heard it from me. It's from the internet, right? You don't have an agent representing you or anything. Leave it there. I will bring dependents. Now, those who are asking, can you bring your children? This is where you choose yes or no. So maybe I'm bringing my children. I can put it here that I'll bring a child. So now if they are giving you I-20, they are going to add the dependents cost in there. Okay, because you are bringing a child, they are going to add what? A dependent. Okay. Hold on, give me a minute. Yeah. So save and continue. And then choose the category that best fits your situation. Yes, I have met or plan to meet the English requirements. So you've not taken a test. These people are saying a test. You want a test. Okay. For most programs, they can accept tests, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So choose one of the following. I took or will take the TOEFL in. Okay. So this is accepting TOEFL. Now, there are two things I will say. If they are requesting for TOEFL and then you don't have money to write, there's one way to go about it. Number two, if you have already written it, which I encourage you to write because it will open more doors, more universities. What I want to say is TOEFL is easy. GRE is more difficult. TOEFL is easy. You can write TOEFL. I'm not sure they're even restricting you with a certain score, right? He says some may require higher test score. Most of them, they just want to see that you've written it and you can speak English. So TOEFL is easy. If you are writing it or you want to write it, go for it, right? Maybe you want to take it at some later time. You can just put in there. Maybe you want to take it in 2026 or something. Now, if you want to take it in 2026, it means you're not written, so you don't have scores to put here. For those who have not taken it, there are two things. Either you can go with no, I will not meet the English requirement, but I plan to begin with IEP program. You can choose no, and then later on send them an English proficiency letter from your English department that states that you studied in English. Do you plan to continue at Pittsburgh after IEP? Now let's find out what is IEP. IEP is Intensive English Program. Okay. You'll be required to complete this before enrolling in university credit courses. This is going to be a short course you take. So if you go with this, it's better so that you don't, stress yourself with TOEFL. Then do you plan to continue after the IEP? Yes, of course. Why would I write the exam and not continue? So now this is where you come. I'm looking for my clinical psychology program, which was under the psychology department. So I'm going to come here, psychology, clinical. I selected, and I plan to begin in 2025 August, and I save and continue. Then, have I had tuberculosis skin test? Maybe no. Have I lived with or close? Now, someone is asking, would it affect my chances of getting admission? Not really. They only say that if you get admission, they always say that make sure you have taken the test before you come. Okay, so that one you can always sort it out later. For me, I didn't even take any medical tests, even though they required it. So when I came on campus, then I went to the campus university and I took my flu shots. So that's not even a big issue. Have you lived with or had close contact with anyone sick of tuberculosis? No. Were you born or travel? Blah, blah, blah. No. Where tuberculosis? No. Are you currently experiencing signs of disease? No. Don't. If you are experiencing, yes, it might be tough for you. For this one, they will be too concerned, okay, because they think that you come and infect all the students. So if you are not experiencing signs, then if you are experiencing signs, please be honest, because they don't want that. Okay. Don't go and infect people with tuberculosis. Okay. Now I'm done. Save and continue. Now it says I haven't completed. I didn't write my residence country. So I'm going to put it in here and save and continue. What am I going to do? Beyond this page, the application will be logged. Only viewable. That means that you must have checked all your info, cross-check. I'm going to go back to my preliminary questions. Okay, international students. Okay, contact information. What did I put in there? I put in everything here. My college. I put in everything here. My degree, English language, program of study, I put in everything. I put in everything here. Good. I come to submit applications. Then I go to agree. Am I going to pay application fees? Maybe, maybe not. So this example that I'm showing you is for a school that is taking application fee. I can either email and request for a waiver. If they don't give it to me, I can still go ahead and pay, so long as Dr. Chris Spera has agreed to work with me or has told me there's position available, then I will pay. I don't mind paying. Guys, please, some of us have to learn to sacrifice and pay at least one school that you know there is a very high chance of getting admission. Okay, please sacrifice and go for that if you have the chance. Okay, so this $41. Pay now. You put in your credit card, blah blah blah, and then you are through. So that's just about it. You are done with your application. You have heard first of all from Dr. Chris, and then you have put in your applications, and then you can email him again that you have tendered in your application, you have paid your application fee and all that. If you are applying to a university that doesn't take application fee, it's even easier for you. Things are easier for you because you are going to just, go through without having to pay application fee. They have removed that functionality at the end of their website. So all the better for you. Good. So you are done. Basically, you are done. You have applied for a scholarship. And this is applying it through what? Getting heads up from the professor by approaching him, or the one where you see an open like news like this and then you apply for it right there, and then you've applied for a scholarship. Now Kofi says, thank you for answering my question, but could you suggest some research programs a business admin could divert into? Research, probably economics. Economics is research. Yeah, I don't know if finance has research, but I know economics does. You can divert into economics. But economics, they might want you to have done maybe some calculus, or I don't know. Like, it depends on the university, but economics is one possible place you can do that. Someone was saying undergrad. So let's see. How do I even turn this Telegram notification off? Okay, undergrad. So undergrad scholarships. Okay, this is US undergrad, King's Scholar. Okay, so let's look at King's Scholar. This is the one I shared. Okay, and I put a link here. King's Scholar program. Can I email? If the professors are, if your research interest, so he is asking, Derek is asking a good question. Can I email almost 3 to 4 professors in the same department? Now, if they work together, you have seen them work together, publish a paper together through like the Google Scholar thing that I was showing you, or you have seen that they have similar research interests, email them. But then you cannot email 3 to 4 professors in different research interest areas and say that I'm interested in this research, I'm so passionate about it. They're now going to tell another professor, I'm interested in this research, I'm so passionate about it. Guess what? In their conversations, it will pop up. Oh, there was one student from Ghana who says he wants to work with me. He says his research interest is in addicted brain. And be like, oh, okay, Ghana. Okay, I had another one from Ghana too. What's his name? You'd be like, oh, his name is Derek. Yeah, Derek. Oh, Derek. Yeah, Derek messaged me too, but he said he's interested in traffic control signals. Guess what happens? You told one you're passionate about addicted brain and psychology. You're telling another person you're in a different area. Like, they have conversations. They take coffee together. They talk about research they are doing. They talk about students who want to work with them. So in their conversation, it won't always happen, but in their conversation, it could pop up, and they'll be like, "Nah, this guy just wants to come to. He just wants to come to America. He doesn't want. He's not involved in anything. Why? Because you have multiple intense research areas. You are passionate about so many areas, so it gives a red flag. That's what I'll say. But I'll say that if they're in the same research area, it doesn't hurt to still message, because if they tend to be talking about research students they want to take for the coming year, and they go on a meeting, they go for a meeting, or they discuss your applications. So if they see it and then they're like, okay, this guy is he seems to be consistent. He's in the same research interest area. Then they'll be like, okay, yeah, we can work with him. That's no problem. So that's your Farouk is laughing. That's your answer to that. All right. Arab Money says what? I'm going for business admin and management degree. Can my major still be business admin? Yeah. Yeah, that's your major. Um, yeah, that's the program name. The program name is usually the program major. Okay. So business admin, is it undergrad or business admin masters is already having funding problems, not to talk of undergrad. So yours is like double trouble. That's what I'm saying that for you, your best bet will be MasterCard scholarship. And then look for Fulbright scholarship. They might have an MBA that is fully funded. I don't know, but I have to check. Sorry. There are so many programs that come under the Fulbright. Okay, so you want to check that too. Okay, so King Scholar. This is a King Scholar program. Now, King Scholar program is under Dartmouth and is going to secondary. So you are moving into undergrad. Yeah, undergrad is going to be tough for you. I would advise you write the SAT and get a good score, okay? But if you don't write it, check the MasterCard Foundation. Let me show you something here. When you open the mastercardfdn.org, you can check the scholars program and you see that they are recruiting for undergraduates. Okay, and it doesn't have to only be US. There are other universities, like if you check South Africa, or if you check, this is Canada, this is Canada as well, this is UK, this is South Africa, this is Scotland. I don't know where Gonda is. Ethiopia, okay, Gonda, Ethiopia. This is South Africa, this is US, Canada, South Africa. So you're going to come here. This is Arizona State I was talking to you guys about, where they have they fully fund masters if you get the MasterCard scholarship. Undergrad, you are going to come here, undergraduate studies at the MasterCard program. Beirut should be Lebanon. Beirut is the capital of Lebanon, but I don't know the name. American University, I think it should be in Lebanon. Ashesi is Ghana. This is also Ghana. Abomey-Colavi, I don't know where it is. Benin, okay. So you come here, let me see. Which one is in US for undergrad? Where is Earth University? Sub-Saharan Africa. No, approximately Earth University. Let's check where it is. I want to see if I can get a US undergrad program for you. Earth University is in Costa Rica, so that's not what we are looking at. You probably not have a US. Let me see, what's this? I don't know if you get a US undergrad fully funded program. Yeah, this is Africa. United States International University, Africa. Okay, so undergrad, sorry, there's no American University here. Check this one, Beirut. American University of Beirut. Yeah, Lebanon. You see that? Lebanon. Beirut is in Lebanon. So, yeah, there's no US undergrad study. That's why I was saying that US undergrad is tough, bro. You have to do a lot of research to find. I've not found any, but all the best in your search. Master's program, you can get Arizona State. You will get fully funded. Okay, that's US. They also have Carnegie Mellon Africa is in Africa. Let me see. They probably have just two: University of California, Berkeley, and Arizona State University. And then just two American universities fully funded. Okay. So sorry, it's going to be tough for you. Let's go back to our King's College thing. Okay. King's Scholar program. Okay, so let's say undergrad. I want to apply for the King's Scholar program, full scholarship at Dartmouth. So the thing is, Dartmouth is where I'll apply to under the King's Scholar program. Okay. So long as they don't put a direct King's Scholar program here, I'm going to apply at Dartmouth. So I need to check, do we have a direct King's Scholar program application link? So I click here under our program. I go to how to apply. They're going to give me some guidelines. Now, it's looking for, let me zoom in. It's looking for low-income students with high potential from developing nations. All eligible international students to Dartmouth will be considered for the King Scholar. So it means that applicants to Dartmouth, I have to apply to Dartmouth. Do you see that? This is what the King Scholar Program is looking for. Now they share the link here. Learn more about applying to Dartmouth. I have to click that. Then I come here. Okay, what is going on here? What is going on here? We have undergrad admissions. Okay, so Arab Money, this is the scholarship you should be looking at. Okay, because the MasterCard, you're not eligible. So you can look at this. Okay. Then I come here. Oh, yes, you can afford that amount. 100% of demonstrated financial need met, no matter who you are and where you are from. 100% of demonstrated. Do you see that? So this is good for you, Arab Money. This is the one you want to apply to. So I keep scrolling down. Okay, I'm looking for an apply button. Because undergrad is not research, I'm not going to email any professor for research. So I'm going to go straight into application. All I need to do is I need to make sure I'm turning in the right documents, and then I'm writing very good English and sending every document that they need. So this is how it works. First of all, let's see what all can we find here. Dartmouth. Where do we apply? Okay, apply. Apply to Dartmouth. International students. Let's read here before we apply. Let's read international students. Let me close these ones. Okay, these are international students that have come. Okay, scroll down. Okay, now they have questions. I attended school outside of the US. Do I have to submit SAT? You have to come here and then check it. Now, for applicants from outside US, okay, this and that, results of either SAT, ACT, or 3 advanced placement examinations or predicted or final exam results from IB, British A-levels, or equivalent standardized national exam are required. Okay, so Dartmouth is saying that, yes, I can, you see, that's what I'm saying, that undergrad, you have to write SAT if you want a full scholarship. So they use the SAT as a means to check, to assess your eligibility on the international scale compared to students that are also coming from their countries using their own system. The SAT will bring all those systems that are different from country to country into one so that we can understand how good you are of a student or how bad you are of a student. So write the SAT because this school will require it. And now we know that, okay, they require SAT. Would they require an English language proficiency letter? We don't know, so we check. Students for whom English is not a first language or for whom English is not a primary language of instruction for at least 2 years are also required to submit this. That means that, hey, we are free. We will not submit a TOEFL score because we were taught in English and we have an English proficiency letter to prove that we're taught in English. So we are not going to need to what? You're not going to need to write a TOEFL or IELTS, no Duolingo, nothing. But SAT for the next 1 to 3 months, our focus will be let's go hard on writing the SAT and doing well. So now that we know that we are going to come back here and then apply to Dartmouth. So now we know the test scores is out of the way. We know that. Okay. No doubt about the extraordinary, blah, blah, blah. Early decision, regular decision. We need to know what it is. Okay, so I'm going to come here. I'm right-clicking. I want to find out what it is first before I fully go into it. Okay, so this is international students. Okay, so this is my category. Let's see, regular decision. Okay, transfer admission. Those who want to transfer, those who are asking of transfer, you can also transfer as an international student. But let's go to early decision. We want early decision. We don't want just like the regular ones. So I'm going to go down here. Dates, deadlines, and forms. Okay. What do they have here? August 1st. All candidates applying for. Now, if you have noticed in this live stream, do you realize how I read all the necessary details before I eventually apply? I'm not just saying that, hey, apply button, and I'm clicking. I make sure I read all the essentials before I start. Otherwise, if I apply without reading essentials, I'll finish applying and I'll realize that, this thing wasn't even for me. Or guess what? I miss out. It doesn't benefit me. So you come here, it says August 1st, all candidates applying for first year admission must use the common app. Add Dartmouth to my colleges section and you'll be on your way. Now you see, so If I'd come here international students, I'll be missing my way, but I have to read what it's saying. So I have to use what? The common app. Now I click on common app. Guess what? I have to create an account because I don't have one. It says sign in. So I have to create an account. What am I? I'm a first year student. So if you are transferring, maybe you are in your second year, you want to transfer to your third year in the US for the King Scholar program, you click transfer student. But I'm coming fresh, so first year student. I'm going to put all my details here, the email, fill everything, and then create my account and then start filling the form. So that is my application. That is how I apply. So that is it for undergrad. And then I have shown you for masters. Make sure you do your research, reach out to the professors, be sure that they also have a position open. Now, another thing you can do if you don't want to, if you want to spread your chances and not have to focus on maybe just the professor who is uh, interested in just the addiction program, but you want to spread your options, all clinical psychology programs, then you can write and not really state any particular research interest in your inquiry email, but then you can say that, for example, let me show you this. The ones that I opened, I think I closed it. Okay, let me go back. I checked Pittsburgh State. Okay, the faculty. I just want to open the faculty area for you guys to see this. Arab Money says it's SAT or ACT, same as English says. No, it's different. Okay, now I come here, and because I don't want to be too specific with my research interest and lower my chances of, getting to work with a professor, I could look at the research interest of 3 professors. The one who was asking about that. This is also another way you can go about it. I have 3 professors here. I can visit this one's page. I can also visit this one's page. I can visit this one's page. Then when I write to them, I would say that my interest is in the area of clinical psychology and all that stuff, right? I want to major or I want to pursue a master's in clinical psychology, but I want to explore different research fields under the main umbrella. One of the research fields I want to explore is bilingualism and special education, comma. Now, this same email is what you're writing to these 3 professors. But then you are telling the first one that you have research interest in bilingualism and special education. Then the second one is what? Juvenile justice. Now, juvenile justice is a little bit linked with, juvenile, and then special education is also targeted towards younger children, people with disability and all that. So you see that there's something in common here. So you select one from the other person, the other research interest from the next professor, and then the third one was his own. School violence and bullying. So children. You see how you have linked the 3. So when you send it to these 3, your chances of getting to work with at least one of them is high. Okay. So that's one way you can work around sending an email to several professors in the same department. Look at common research interest areas and then send a message to all of them saying that you have research interest in this, comma, this, and this. And you will be willing to work with any of the professors that have a specialty in these areas. Okay. Right. So that's just about it. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was the free workshop I wanted to do. And I know that it's very insightful for you. If you're going to take your time and listen from the beginning to the end, I know that you are going to really benefit. And I wish you all the best in your endeavors. We've already done about an hour and 20 minutes. So thank you for tuning in. Everyone that asked a question, thank you. If you're watching this later on, I also wish you the best in your school applications. Get the free online courses. Do them 1 month, 2 months. You are done. Get certified. Write to the professors, telling them your specialty, the courses that you have done. You're wanting to work with them, looking for assistantship opportunities. application fee waivers, put all of those things, put all those important questions in one email. So thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you. Thanks to everyone that tuned in, and have a good rest of your day.